Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Letter Live here from Louisville High School, where we travel for the second straight game as the Louisville Leopards take on the Hoover Vikings. I mean, there's really not much that you can say about Louisville besides the fact that I think this is one of the best teams in the state of Ohio. Not just Northeast Ohio, Mike.
Well, they're definitely improving themselves so far this season. When we were here last week, a well-played game against Richmond Heights. Louisville was able to come out on top. The very next night, they played Alliance, a team that maybe early in the season I thought maybe that's a game, they can target, as being a really good game. They took it to Alliance that night, and now tonight they get a Hoover Vikings team who, like Louisville, has some big aspirations coming up in the postseason. Hoover, solid Division II team. Louisville in Division III. These are two longtime Stark County rivals dating back to when both teams played in the Federal League. I think a lot of the rivalry comes from football, but two very good basketball teams we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Now, absolutely is one of my catchphrases, but if there was one thing I would have to say about this game, it would be that it's not absolute. This is not set in stone. This is not a set in stone outcome. Okay, a lot of people coming into this game, whether they be on the Louisville or Hoover side, probably believe that Louisville is going to mop the floor. But I don't think so, Mike.
Well, no, you can't say that, because here's a Hoover team who 2 days ago played a team from Pennsylvania called Montour, who is a really good team at the Battle at the Berkey tournament in Smithville. Montour only beat them by a few points. Hoover made a run late in that game to make it competitive. So to say that this Hoover team is going to be intimidated coming into Louisville tonight to take on this Leopards team, that's not the case. This is a really good basketball team going up against a really good basketball team in Louisville.
Yeah, no way, Mike. This is not a foregone conclusion. Here's the deal, Mike. We talked to Hoover head coach Mike Popovich over the weekend about trying to get some statistics for our broadcast tonight. In the email that he copied to us after I had sent my thanks, he goes, "We are really good at losing really close to really good teams. We need to change that." And that's how determined Mike Popovich is.
Well, yeah, and that's happened this season to them. They played really close games against Jackson, came up short. And they played McKinley at the Fieldhouse recently, really tough, came up just short. And this Montour team on Sunday came up just short. So, yeah, they want to get over the top in these close games because, as you know, in a couple of weeks, they're going to be facing some really tough teams in the postseason. And if they want to get far, they're going to have to really win those close games.
Yeah, Mike. So we also had the opportunity to talk to both of the head coaches of these esteemed programs. First, we had the opportunity to talk to head coach Mike Popovich from Hoover High School. Here's that interview for you now. All right, so obviously Louisville has really been focusing on this stretch four. There's been no doubt that Louisville is one of the biggest commodities in Northeast Ohio basketball right now. And especially playing as independents, they don't see the same competition that you guys do every year. So with that being said, Louisville has integrated a lot of Federal League games into their schedule. So have you been trying to look at these other Federal League games for mutual opponents to try and game plan against them?
You really take a look at their last 4 or 5 games. If you can get the film and just kind of see what they're doing, go back and look at a couple of early season games and see if what they've added, kind of to their forte. But I mean, they're really good. I mean, not only Northeast Ohio, they're one of the best teams in the state, really, probably in any division. So they're a different animal. But I'm excited for the opportunity. I think our kids are too. They play a really good schedule, so do we. So we're happy to be here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and this team playing against Richmond Heights. Richmond Heights' biggest X factor was the fact that they were able to stretch the floor. But Louisville were able to get within that too. And a lot of Hoover's game plan is trying to make stuff happen in transition, and that's going to be what it really boils down to. Have you guys done anything in practice to really emulate those game situations?
Well, the first issue with Louisville is to get in transition, you got to rebound the ball. And they are so good attacking the offensive glass. So if you can overcome, issue number one, then you give yourselves a chance to get out and go and see what you can do and make a play. But you got to keep him off the backboard. We haven't done anything different in practice. We are a work on the basics fundamental team, and so no, nothing different in terms of preparation. But the way they attack the glass causes a lot of problems.
Absolutely. So what would you say your general outlook for this Louisville game is?
Oh, we're excited to play. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the state. If you can't get up for this game, then you should probably be playing at the Y or somewhere else, This is a great tournament prep type of game. No different than really our last handful or the ones that we have remaining on our schedule. So we're happy to be there. Hopefully, it's a great game, and we'll see where we're at come down the stretch.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Amen.
Good luck.
All right, welcome back here to Louisville. I'm Mike Popovich along with Aiden Brueck. We heard from Coach Mike Louie of the Hoover Vikings, and now we'll hear from Todd Siegfried of the Louisville Leopards, who talked about how important rebounding is going to be in tonight's game.
So Hoover is a Federal League opponent. Obviously, you guys not in the Federal League this year, but you guys have played a lot of the similar opponents if you talk about these Federal League matchups during the year. So have you tried to take anything from Hoover's film against opponents that you've faced in your own game plan?
No, we actually are very familiar with Hoover, so kind of know coming in what they're going to do. We got to speed them up. They, like to really be methodical in how they play. Know their system very well. It just really comes down to doing what we need to do to stop them.
Yeah. Bluey was talking a lot about how it's just going to have to be a game that ends in the rebounding. And you guys against Richmond Heights were able to get in that rebounding zone, especially with BG and Tate Aljancic as well. Aljancic didn't really have a ton of boards that game, but when he did, they were crucial, and they were filling in the gaps left by BG. So have you guys been working on practice? I mean, generally speaking, your guys' rebounding game has been off the charts these last couple of weeks. So against this Hoover team, it's going to be the most important thing?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to matchups and who's that guy that's going to be open for a rebound. And, we talk about team rebounding. So, there's been games where Bo's had 8 or 10 rebounds. There's games where Tate has 8 or 9 rebounds. And, of course, BG's always cleaning up as well. So really it just comes down to who's that guy that's being called. So we never really kind of figure out ahead of time what we have to do. It's a nice problem to have that we have 5 guys on the court all the time that are able to make the assist, score a bucket, or get a rebound.
Yeah, Ohio High School football was talking, the name is a little deceiving, but yeah. Gene was talking about Ashton Marshall last week, and he was talking about how valuable of an asset he was on the defensive end. But against Richmond Heights, we also saw a lot of him playing really good offense and making sure he was spreading the floor really nice. So how is a guy like him going to impact the game today?
Yeah, Ashton took his game from being just a defensive player to being a very good offensive player as well, and I think it just makes us more of a complete team. And you saw him hit some big shots, big tip-ins, and right now we feel very comfortable with whoever's on the floor. They're not just defense or offense. We really feel like all of our guys play on both sides of the floor really well.
Yeah, so what's your outlook on this Bluey coach team before you play him tonight?
Very good coach. He does a lot of things really, really well. They're going to be extremely disciplined. He's a team that, you aren't going – he's not going to beat himself. You're going to have to beat Hoover, and we know that ahead of time. So it's really about us tonight executing and doing the little things to get the win.
Yeah, and last week you were talking about it's not about wanting to not lose. It's about wanting to win flat out. So is that the mentality that you guys are going to come into with this game?
Yeah, that's our mentality every game. We've really, over the last 6 to 7 years have talked about coming into games and wanting to win those and not just hoping the other team loses. And the same thing will hold true tonight.
All right. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Buddy. Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Letter Live here from Louisville High School. There are 45 seconds left on the pregame countdown, which means they're going to kick it over to the national anthem. With that being said, Mike and I are going to sign off until after the national anthem is finished, and we can get going here. So in that time, enjoy the smooth jazz, and have a nice time listening to it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stiletto Live. I am Aiden Brueck, and to my right is local sports reporting legend, Mike Popovich. He doesn't want to hear it, but it's true. With that being said, we are going to kick it over to my favorite segment, because it's my segment, which sounds a little bit selfish. Hopefully we don't get dimmed out by the lights tonight.
Well, it's a new segment, but I think you're going to get dimmed out by the lights. I bet you will. I'll have the light ready for you.
Everybody, welcome to Brueck's Breakdown. Here are the key factors to today's game. It's all about execution and adjustments for both teams. Braden Gross is going to be the centerpiece of this Louisville offense, and there's no doubt about that. He's got 16.6 points per game. He's Louisville's go-to scorer, and Hoover knows that. They'll likely put their best defender, maybe someone like Hunter Hirschberger, on Gross tonight. Hoover's defense is aggressive and physical, and they'll throw multiple defenders at Gross and try to disrupt his rhythm. Look for them to mix up coverages, primarily probably switching within a dime. It's just going to be 3-2 to 2-3, triangle 2 as well. Sometimes it might be a straight-up man-to-man. It doesn't matter. Coach Bluey plays monotonous defense, and it works because I've seen it work. On the other side, Louisville is going to have to figure out how to handle Hoover's mix of players. They got kids like Crew Kane, who can stretch the floor, Rob Oster, who can play on the wing and then play inside. Hunter Hirschberger, as we discussed, he's the main man for Hoover. And then we also have Connor Newell, who's also able to play the stretch. One area where Louisville can really clamp down is on the defensive boards, and that's where they have the advantage tonight, Mike. Braden Gross, Tate Aljancic are the big rebounders for this Hoover team, but it's team rebounding for the Leopards. Listen, it doesn't matter who gets the boards as long as Louisville is getting the boards that they think they deserve, because if they think they deserve it, then they're going to get it. And that's been the number one thing that I've seen been the key difference for all of these Louisville squads, has been the rebounding. Braden Gross has been the anchor for this rebounding. Ashton Marshall is also another big rebounder who's really stepped up his game as well on the offensive side. But you also have to think about all these people that are playing on the Hoover side that are able to match that intensity. And no matter what happens, it's going to be Louisville's game to lose.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Louisville's coming in here as the favorite. Coming off a win Saturday against Alliance, where Braden Gross had 2 monumental alley-oop dunks, and could probably would have gotten the dunks if he had a light in his eyes as well. But yeah, I mean, and the thing about Louisville is, with Gross back in the lineup, he is starting to really regain his form that he had before he missed several games with a back injury. We saw him have a great start against Richmond Heights on Friday. He obviously had a big game against Alliance on Saturday, and tonight, he's going to want to continue his push toward possible Stark County Player of the Year. I mean, he's in the running for that. He's in running for a lot of all-state honors, and he is really a great player to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this Louisville team has been such a pleasure to watch. Every time that I've been able to watch this team play, it's been nothing short of a spectacle. This Tom Siegfried-led team is one of the best in the state of Ohio. I opened the broadcast saying that, and I'm sure that I'm going to end the broadcast saying that. And this Louisville team, despite people who think that I may be giving them a little bit too much credit, clearly haven't seen them play. So if anybody has the opportunity, I urge you to come down to Louisville High School and watch this Tom Siegfried-led team play. Because, oh my goodness, Mike, this is one of the best teams to watch in the state of Ohio. It's either them or McKinley.
Well, yeah, and you wanted to be a part of things early because you went out and warmed up with them a little bit.
I did. I trained a 3 on my first shot.
And I didn't see it.
And Mike didn't see it. But you know what? After the game, we'll have some exclusive web-only content on the Letter Network's Twitter channel. Hopefully I'll get another shot at it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here because I've really enjoyed watching both of these teams this season. We've been to a number of Hoover games. This is our fourth Louisville game. Let's see what happens.
Braden Gross will win the tip-off for the Louisville Leopards, and Bo Siegfried will get the ball right off of the tip. Bo Siegfried is deep. He'll look to screen to his left. He has Marshall at the key. Gives it to Aljancic, who gives it right back to Marshall. Marshall looks for the extra pass. Goes over to Braden Gross on the left perimeter. He passes it up and resets with Marshall at the key. Gross now has it on the left side. He'll dribble it with his left, looking to make a cut underneath. He'll go right to Devin Bailey, who's got it one up and not in as it ricochets off the right side of the rim. And Louisville cannot score on the first possession, which is the first time in a while that they've accomplished that. Hoover now on their first possession are being anchored by Crew Kane, who goes in stride to Hirschberger. He's got a tough lay and remains unsuccessful. 0 for 1 and 0 for 1 on field goals for both teams tonight. Bo Siegfried eyes a spot up from the left side, who gives it to Tate Aljancic now. He dribbles around, goes inside to Braden Gross. He's got an easy bucket inside, guarded by Oster. But Oster can't get it done, and the Louisville Leopards will be the first on the board. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go now. It's Louisville 2, Hoover 0.
Yeah, it was great awareness by Siegfried to get the ball to Gross, and now Louisville comes up with the steal.
And a steal was just taken by Devin Bailey, it looked, after a shot, or it wasn't a shot, actually Connor Newell was looking for somebody underneath on the right perimeter and just couldn't get it done. And now it's going to be Louisville's ball after a transition foul. We'll give Devin Bailey the inbound now. He'll rainbow over to Braden Gross, who gives it right back to Siegfried, who gives it right back to him. And Braden Gross looking to ISO, make something happen, kicks it out to Devin Bailey from 3. Can't fire it. And it ends up back in the hands of the Vikings. Wagner takes it for himself, but then hands it off to Hirschberger. In transition, it gets over to Crew Kane. Offset right of the Leopard logo at center court. From the corner, it's Hunter Hirschberger. Air ball. 6 minutes, 11 seconds to go. And it's going to Hoover's way after Louisville could not convert off of the rebound.
Well, you don't see that very many times. Hunter Hirschberger with a wide open shot, and like you said, he shoots an air ball.
In Hirschberger, through the first 15 games of the season, was averaging about 16.1 points per game, and a majority of those were from the three-point strike. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hirschberger start to light it up, especially when he gets his confidence back. Crew Kane looks for a drive inside. He's on the left side, hands it off to Hirschberger. He'll drive back up to the key in a short trail. Goes behind his back, again, double in a row, and passes it right back to Crew Kane. Tells Hirschberger to cut under. Bailey's on him. Crew Kane is underneath for a reverse layup and can't find it as it ricochets off the front of the rim. Ball's given to Bo Siegfried. He's on the right side, looking to fire it over to Bailey. Gives it right back over to Marshall. Ball's tipped, but he'll go up for a spot to Siegfried, who gets it to Bailey, looking for an extra pass. It's Aljancic in the corner. Back to Marshall, and now back to Siegfried at center court. 5 minutes, 18 seconds to go. It's Louisville 2, Hoover 0. Siegfried goes behind his back with some shifty moves to go in stride to Braden Gross inside. Gross can't find it, and instead he's going to be charged with a charging foul, and that's going to send the ball back to the Hoover way.
While Hoover with 2 opportunities early on, the missed 3 from Hirschberger, the missed layup from Kane. You can't miss out on those opportunities against a really good Louisville team, but still, Hoover only down 2-0.
Yeah, Crew Kane with the ball now for the Vikings. He's got a kick in it to the right perimeter. He's looking to go inside, almost intercepted, but Rob Oster in the post fires to Connor Newell from 3. Gets it! And I think I lost the word to say because, to be honest, I haven't really seen Connor Newell shoot a lot. It's now Hoover 3 to Louisville 2. 4 minutes and about 30 seconds to go left here in the first. Siegfried hands it back off to Marshall from the 3, and he'll give it to Aljancic, who can't knock it down from deep. A little downtown motion from Aljancic can't go in, and contrary to what we saw against Richmond Heights last Friday. 4 minutes, 14 seconds to go. It is Hoover 3, Louisville 2. And Hoover's got a steady start here, about a halfway into the first. And looks like Crew Kane was going in for a layup. had somebody on his hip and got fouled there.
Yeah, foul will go against Tate Aljancic, his first for Louisville, second as a team.
Kane's got it at the key. He'll back up, and he's guarded by Bailey. Deep in transition. Looks like Marshall couldn't get his hand on it, but he did have the defense as the pass went awry. 3 minutes, 55 seconds to go here now in the first. It's Hoover 3, Louisville 2.
Well, we saw Hoover against Glen Oak last week, and Connor Newell, who earlier got that three, had probably the biggest basket in that game as Hoover came back to win that game.
Hirschberger with a quick layup, guarded by Braden Gross. It's not a mismatch with Hunter Hirschberger. 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the first. It is Hoover 5, Louisville 2. And Louisville, for one of the first times this season again, finds themselves trailing. Hoover gets another turnover, and it ends up in the hands of Connor Newell. Looking for a screen through Rob Oster, and he wants Hirschberger to push pass and get up off the court. Hirschberger's got it on the right perimeter now. He's going for a tough lay, and he'll find it. And Hirschberger, he's got 4 on the night from 2 tough layups on the mismatch. 3 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Siegfried wants to make something happen. Kicks it out to Devin Bailey on the right side. And now Marshall has it from the left perimeter. Marshall can't find it. Rebounded to Siegfried. He'll bounce it and go. Not in for another 3, and Siegfried can't get things sparking up from past the 3-point stripe. 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go here in the first. Hoover 7, Louisville 2. Low-scoring affair as Crew Kane goes inside for a lay. The Hoover layup train stops at its tracks as it goes over to Siegfried in the corner. Siegfried in the paint, dishes one underneath to Devin Bailey, and Bailey finds the open lane. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go here left in the first. It is Hoover 7, Louisville 4.
Well, Bo Siegfried misses his first 3, but 2 fine assists on the 2 Louisville baskets so far from the Louisville point guard.
It's a 3-point game now with 2 minutes to go here in the first. Hoover up 7-4 on the Leopards. Hirschberger backing up with his right. He goes between his legs, looking to cross up Marshall. Hands it off on a ghost screen over to Kane, and he'll look to go over to the right side now. Hirschberger has it once more. Looking to get one over to Oster. Oster saves it, gets it through to Newell. He can find the 3. Got me stuttering. Oster inside. Didn't stutter that time.
Well, Hoover able to get a reverse layup to go tonight. First basket of the game for Oster, 9-4 Vikings.
And Mike, I think something special is happening right now. It's Hoover 9, Louisville 4. Marshall from offset the key. He'll take it right back. Goes over to Siegfried. He's deep off the right perimeter. Over to Bailey now, looking to get a screen from Aljancic. 1 minute, 18 to go now here in the first. Marshall spins around to go in. He'll draw the foul and head to the stripe. Has an opportunity to put this game back within 3. That foul on Rob Oster. And it's going to be Hoover 9 to Louisville 4. Obviously, Louisville in a position to get themselves back within 1 possession.
Well, it's going to be Tate Aljancic at the line for the Leopards as he hits his first free throw. Excuse me, Ashton Marshall at the free throw line for the Leopards. He's shooting 52% from the line on the season. He makes his first.
Let's see if he goes 50% on his free throws after this.
Well, he hits both of them.
Not like clockwork that time. That was the call I was going to go with. Minute and 14 seconds. Leopards back within 1 of Hoover. It is Hoover 9, Louisville 8, 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. They're closing in on him on the double team full court press. Ball handed over to Hirschberger. He'll step back on the stutter there and hands it back over to Kane. Kane's got it on the left perimeter, looking to drive past. Looks like Colton Loy, excuse me. Bailey coming out for Loy, and Andrechik going in for Marshall. Siegfried's got it now at the key. Screens past Gross, gives it over to Loy. Gross inside, can't find it. Bodies him out, fakes 1, fakes 2, and gets it in. Leopards back within 1, it's Hoover 11, Louisville 10, 30 seconds to go. Will Hoover play for the last shot here in the first? Kane's got it at the key, guarded by Gross. Dribbles past the tooth of the leopard. Gets 2 dribbles real quick. Newell from 3. Can't find it, as it is given to Bo Siegfried on the rebound. Siegfried looking for an extra pass. Over to Aljancic. He'll step over. Shooters shoot. And Aljancic, a little deep offset of that three-point stripe on the right side. Hoover's got the last shot. Kane from 3. Big shot at the buzzer. That'll count, and Hoover regains the lead. Louisville will be fighting from behind here after 1. And oh my goodness, Mike, I think it's time to ask the important question. Who's hot?
Well, it was a slow start to this game. I mean, it seemed like, Louisville was up 2-0 for forever, but a big finish to this game. Really, nobody really standing out for either team. Just a balanced performance from either side. Crew Kane, 5 quick points late in the quarter, including that backed-in 3, leads the Vikings. And Braden Gross with 4 points for Louisville. Offensive rebound and basket. Not the first time we're going to see him convert off his own offensive rebound tonight. So a big finish to the first quarter with Hoover up 14-13.
Yeah, and if you were to ask me a breakdown of that quarter, it's all about in transition for Hoover. I mean, they get the ball back, and Louisville are able to get on them pretty quick. So Hoover's got to shut down what they were going for right out the gate. And because Hoover's able to slow down, that's right into Coach Bluey's coaching style. He's going to play slow, he's going to play monotonous, and he's going to make the Leopards work for it. And it looks like we have a bit of a scoreboard error, as it says the Louisville Leopards have 111 points. Okay, now we fixed it. It is Hoover 14, Louisville 13.
I swear to God, there was a game here last year where they scored over 100 points against the team. It might have been their tournament game that they had here, but I knew that. So it's not the first time you've seen 111 or whatever that was. And there it is again.
And it looks like it's just really a blowout for Siegfried now. Looks like he's telling him to go. The ref is going over to the other end, talking to Siegfried. We have some scoreboard troubles, it feels like, and you'd think they just use the big LED screen. That's all I have to say. Oster's got it now, hands it off to Kane at the logo. He's guarded closely by Bailey. The starting 5 that we saw in the first is back in for the Leopards. Same could not go for the Vikings as Kane dribbles between his legs to go backwards, guarded by Bailey. They've actually got Brady McCann in the game now for the Vikings. Hirschberger's got a lane. Tough layup and in! Oh my goodness, a reverse layup from Hirschberger puts the Vikings up again. It's a 3-point game now. It's Hoover 16, Louisville 13. Siegfried's got the ball at midcourt. Bailey fires one over to Gross. He gives one to Siegfried. Siegfried gonna look for an open lane. Has to kick it out to somebody. But in transition, he gets called for a travel, and Bluey is on his feet.
Well, Hunter Hirschberger, never afraid to go into traffic for a basket like he did down there, even against a guy like Braden Gross. Thought maybe Siegfried was going to do it on this end, but he thought twice about it, but that led into a traveling call.
Bailey tatted up on his right leg. Crew King tries to go in for a deep, it looked like deep underneath the basket from what I was seeing. Crew Kane tried to go underneath, couldn't find the reverse layup. Now 7 minutes, 4 seconds to go here in the second. 2 for 16, Leopards 13, and the Vikings really got a shot as Hirschberger tries to put one up. It's blocked by Marshall, and he'll get his own board and go in for a layup. Marshall with a great defensive effort there, but just couldn't get it done against a sophomore. Sophomore like Hunter Hirschberger.
And a sophomore like Hunter Hirschberger, we've seen countless threes from Hunter Hirschberger this season. Tonight he gets one blocked, the other one's an air ball. But like I said before, this guy is relentless. He'll go into traffic to convert a basket. We saw him do that sometimes last week against Glen Oak. He's done it a couple of times tonight, and he's given his team an 18-13 lead.
And I mean, the Louisville student section has to receive all my praise at this point, because I don't think I've seen a game that Louisville's had where they aren't showing out. Tonight, obviously, it's Jersey night, but
Well, even one person with the probable soon-to-be departed Myles Garrett jersey on.
And it's actually 18-11. It looks like the Louisville Leopards don't have 13 as the scoreboard is saying.
Well, I had thought it was 13 at the end of the quarter. I thought it was 14-13 in favor of Hoover.
Siegfried's got it at the logo now, and in this scoreboard malfunctioning era, it looks like Louisville having to play from behind. Bailey screens past Gross. He tries to find a lane, gonna kick it out to Aljantic. He fakes out one man, slow step inside for a mid-range jumper, and that'll find its way in after a couple of bounces. It is Hoover 20, Louisville 11. And now, after another shot, I don't know what the score is.
Well, that shot was by Crew Kane, and it should be Hoover 20, Louisville 15.
I believe it should be Louisville 13. I think they fixed it.
Okay.
Siegfried's got it now at the key offset. Aljantic pulls up with a man in his face and can't get it done. He felt comfortable with the shot, obviously couldn't make it in. Siegfried now at the key, hands it off to Gross. He's got a shot from the wing, and he'll fire away. Louisville with another three. It is Hoover 20, Louisville 16, as our scoreboard issues are now fixed. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go left here in the first half. Kane's got it now at the half court, and inside is Gage Wagner, who's got only one man on him, can't get it done. Ball falls off of Aljantic, he can't get the board finished, but it looked like Braden Gross made that error there. Colton Loy now coming back in for Devin Bailey, and this 7-man rotation that we've seen from Louisville has just been one-sided. John Collins now in for the Vikings as well. Apologies, got to double check that. Kane's got it at the right side. He's guarded by Lloyd. Looks to dribble around, can't get around Lloyd, big body. He looks like he was called for a travel after that. And with 5 minutes, 17 seconds to go, Hoover 20, Louisville 16, it's lever ball.
Yeah, great defense by Colton Loy along the baseline there to force a travel from Kane. Kane with 7 points tonight for the Vikings to lead them.
Siegfried on the bench telling everybody to keep it going. Gross tries to go in for a tough possession. Now a foul called on oh no, that was definitely on Crew Kane.
Yeah, that foul's going to go against Crew Kane, his first on the Vikings this quarter.
Siegfried on the spot up, can't get it done. Now it's Hoover ball. It's 2-on-3 now as the triangle goes to shift over to Kane on the left perimeter. Inside the volleyball lines now, he'll dribble through his legs, looking to get it to Hirschberger. Hirschberger has possession now, dribbling through his legs, going up, and not over as the ball ends up off the back of the rim into Braden Gross's hands. They got Loy inside for a lay, and Leopards are back within 2. It's Hoover 20, Louisville 18 now with 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go here in the second. Marshall suiting back up to go back in. I believe he'll probably go back in for Lloyd. Newell's got a shot off the screen, going in stride to Collins. He'll go in, and a call goes Hoover's way as Collins is headed to the stripe.
And that foul's going to go against Avery Andrechik, who's in the game for the Leopards, his first. And the free throw from Collins, no good. Boy, Hoover, one of the better disciplined teams in the county, setting up that possession for Collins there to draw the foul, and he gets the second free throw.
In transition, it's Siegfried off the inbound. He'll kick it out to Braden Gross, offset of the key. Hands it back to Siegfried. He wanted the spot up, but doesn't take it. Gross looking to switch up on Wagner. Hands it off to Marshall instead. Andrechik on the wing. Andrechik's open. It looks like Collins would be able to get past him. Now Siegfried looking to make something happen. Goes up and can't commit to the shot. Can't convert. And now jump ball called. It is going to be Louisville ball. 3 minutes, 43 seconds to go. Hoover leads by 3. Hoover 21, Louisville 18. Like I said, 3:43 to go. Siegfried on the inbound for the Leopards. He'll get the rock going. Gross on the left perimeter. He'll go inside, drives in, can't find it, finds the foul, however. He'll head to the stripe with an opportunity to make 2. 3 minutes, 36 seconds to go now in the second. Louisville 21. No, that's wrong. Hoover 21, Louisville 18.
Yeah, foul's going to go against Gage Wagner for Hoover. His first. Second on the Vikings in the quarter. Braden Gross at the free throw line. Rims his first one, in and out. Gross shooting 63% from the line coming into this game.
Andrechik going out for Tate Aljancic, and Bailey still waiting to get his time on the floor. Looks like he'll go in for Lloyd. Gross is second. Gets it right in. And it looks like Gross is actually headed off the court now with 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go, looking to rest up before this last final 2 minutes in the second. If it was my guess, he'll go back in around 2:30. Crew Kane with the ball now for Hoover. Siegfried pressing up on him. Shoes are sticky. Goes over to Oster on the right side. Hands it off to Hirschberger now at the key. Hirschberger almost loses his footing. Stays firm, guarded by Marshall, the defensive mastermind for this Louisville Leopards team. Hirschberger trying to find something, and Newell instead looked to spot up, can't find it. He'll dribble back, gives it off to Kane. Hoover playing monotonous basketball as Kane's got a lane inside. He'll go off the backboard and one for Hoover. He'll head to the stripe now for the and one opportunity. 3 minutes, 4 seconds go here in the second. Hoover, 23. Louisville, 19. And Crew Kane putting on a clinic. He's got 9 for Hoover now.
Well, we talk about Hunter Hirschberger not being afraid to drive into the lane like that. Crew Kane does the same thing, and he misses the free throw.
Lloyd finds the rebound off of Aljancic's heroics, and Siegfried has it on the right side. Siegfried has wanted a shot the entire game, but he's missed all of his opportunities. Aljancic tries to dribble around now, has to save it, goes inside to Bailey. He'll kick it out, give it to Marshall. Give it to Lloyd, give it to Siegfried now on the right side. And Lloyd's got it, gives it back to Marshall. Marshall on the right side, looking for a screen to go inside, but travels back out of the house as Siegfried goes between his legs at the key. Looking for a man inside, can't find him. Goes to Lloyd now at the key. Siegfried from the lane tries to go for a pass. No looker over to Devin Bailey and just can't convert. Gross coming back in for Lloyd. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the second. And it's Hoover 23, Louisville 19.
Well, it's just a good decision by both Siegfried. They just couldn't handle the ball, getting to the turnover.
Kane on the right side gives it to Hirschberger, offset of the key by about 4 steps. Takes 4 steps in, looks for the spot up, fakes it, and goes over back to Kane. Hirschberger on the ghost screen, spins around, and goes inside. Kane's got a lane, goes up, and converts after a couple of bounces off the front of the rim. And it's not looking pretty for Louisville as they're down 6. Coach Siegfried not happy.
Well, Crew Kane off to a great start tonight for the Vikings. 11 points. Gives them a 6-point lead.
Marshall on the right side hands it back over to Bailey, who's at the key. Transfer from Lake, hands it back to Marshall from 3. Can't find it. From my eyes, it looked like it went in, but it was just a little bit short. Looked good off the corner, but not good in the game of basketball. Minute and 17 seconds to go. Newell's going to make something happen with an ISO. Picks up his dribble. A minute and 12 seconds left. Turnover taken. Marshall's got it now inside the paint. Goes in. Foul by Hirschberger. And Hirschberger says it was a clean block. But no way. No way.
Boy, that's a bad sequence there for Hoover. I was kind of wondering maybe if they would go for the final shot in the quarter, end up turning the ball over. Now Louisville with an opportunity to possibly to finish off the and one with Aston Marshall at the line. Could have went from an 8-point Hoover lead and make it down to 3.
Marshall
hits his free throw.
Gosh, Marshall's second. How about that? His average would be a little bit misleading to the average eye. Kane, maestro in his offense, takes it inside to Oster. Oster now from back, gives it to Kane. He is picked up by Aljancic. 46 seconds to go. Hoover is, no way Hoover's going to take this ball with 40 seconds to go. They're going to take a shot before it's over. Try and get Louisville back to rummage something up here at the end of the second. Pep Band rises to their feet with 41 seconds left. And we're in the end game for the first half. 41 seconds to go. It is Hoover 25, Louisville 22. Newell is going to be on the inbound for the Vikings, and he's got Kane on the other side. Kane guarded by Gross. Gross not playing in the post that round. Kane still guarded by Gross. Loses him on the right. Gets the screen passed with Oster. Oster, the big body, now on Loy. 25 seconds to go. Hoover is looking for the last shot, it looks like, if they can't find an opportunity. The triangle closes in on Kane. And as they swing over to Andrechik, Kane's looking for a lane inside. And with a tough lay, can't find it, but Kane's headed to the stripe. And Siegfried is like, how can you give that to him? But that's just how this game's going to go.
Well, look at Crew Kane. I think he was trying to take advantage of the switch. Braden Gross on him earlier in that possession. They switched Andrechik onto him. Kane able to drive in and draw the foul. And he misses his first free throw. Opportunities, like I said earlier, when you're playing a team like Louisville, you got to take advantage. Open shots, free throw opportunities. Let's see if Kane can hit his second and give his team a 4-point lead.
I love being right. 10.2 seconds to go now as Crew Kane drills his second. Substitution now called as it looks like Roman Geiselman coming in for Crew Kane. Kane going to be rested for the final 10 seconds of this, putting in their all-defense lineup now. Wagner is deep at the key, and Hirschberger goes to Siegfried now. Aljancic with a 3 taken, bricks it, and now with little to go, almost makes the half-court shot, but can't get it done. And to be honest, that was more of a full-court shot. Now, at the end of the second quarter, Hoover mysteriously leading the Louisville Leopards 26-22. As we head into the halftime period, Mike, we're going to kick it back over to the Smooth Jazz, and Mike will hit you with your halftime scoring report. About 5 minutes to go, and that's when you know it's time to tune back in. So get your snacks, talk to your family, if that's what you like to do, and whatever goes for you, make it happen. 10 minutes to go here left in the halftime period. Hoover 26, Louisville 22. This has been The Letter Live from Aiden Brueck and Mike Popovich. Thank you.
halftime here at Louisville, and the Leopards are trailing the Hoover Vikings by a score of 26-22. I'm Mike Popovich. Halftime scores around the area tonight. It's West Branch leading Youngstown East 21-20. And in the first quarter, McKinley leads Green 13-18. And Aiden has come back to properly adjust the camera. It was turned around. So I tried to do it while you were gone before I turned it on. And I've got just my head in the...
Listen, for those who don't know, Louisville has been hosting a half-court shot competition. And, I really did try. But one guy got it on the first try, and at that point, I'm gonna have to say that it really wasn't worth it. Yeah, Louisville, thinking the athletic department is gonna run out of time here. Honestly, they got 3 minutes left. They gotta wipe everything from the court at this point with their gray towels.
Well, you donated $1 to a good cause.
That's true, and I did get 4 ones back. So, oh, that little kid almost made it. Can we get some live action here? Mike, we got a little bit of time left before we're back for halftime. And all I have to say is this Hoover team is playing really, really good defensive basketball. It's really, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything that I've seen from this Hoover squad has been nothing short of stellar. And the reason they're playing at their best is, it all just boils down to how much they want it. This is a tough end of their season. They're going to have a very, very rough schedule in the next coming days. And this is where it starts. So if they're able to make a statement against the Louisville Leopards, then they'll be able to make a statement against any of the other teams that they're having to face.
Well, yeah, this would be obviously a big, huge win for Hoover if they're able to come in here. I mean, they don't have any shot of winning the Federal League. That's going to come down to Friday's game at the Fieldhouse between Jackson and McKinley. And I think one of the key things for them is they have this game, the pace in their favor. I don't think they really want to get into a game against Louisville where it's in the 60s or 70s. I think this is the correct pace for them. And if you think about it, they could be up by more than 4 in the heading into the third quarter here. Some missed shots, some missed layups, but well done to Hoover for coming in. I mean, it was 2-0 Louisville. Hoover scored the next 7 points, and they haven't relinquished the lead since then.
I'm just, I don't want to say I'm surprised, because I feel like deep down I knew that this Hoover squad knew exactly what they wanted and knew exactly what they were doing coming into this game. But, watching this Coach Bluey masterclass has been nothing short of a pleasure. Now that we got Coach Siegfried fired up, he gave his players one heck of a speech in that locker room, and it probably boiled down to we need to play way better than we're playing right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was when Hoover and Louisville played. I'm trying to think, maybe not last year, but what would be 3 years ago would have been the last time previous time they would have played at Hoover. And that game was won by Hoover, I think it was in the 30s. So, like I said, Hoover, one of the well-disciplined teams around, and they've got themselves in a decent position to come out of here with a victory tonight.
Both starting lineups from the first quarter are back in for both teams. Taking it up the court now, Crew Kane had the inbound from his teammate. He passes it in to Wagner, who looks inside to Oster. He gets right past Marshall, and Marshall fouled him on the way down. Marshall isn't happy with that call. 7 minutes, 48 to go. And in the third, it is now Hoover 28, Louisville 22.
Well, Oster with the second basket of the night, trying to complete the three-point play. And he would give, I believe, Hoover its biggest lead, and he hits the free throw.
Siegfried's got it now for the Leopards. At center court, he'll hand it off to Marshall, who is at the key, looking to dribble it past, gives it to Aljansic. They got Bailey in the corner, unguarded. He'll take the shot and can't knock it down. Ball going the Leopards' way after Wagner was the last person to have his hand on it. 7 minutes, 31 to go. Hoover 29, Louisville 22. Louisville's going to need a bucket here if they want to stay within a tangible range. And Gross is just the guy to do that. As he goes inside the paint, a travel is called on his way in, and it's Hoover ball.
Well, I don't think there was a foul. I think it was just one of the Hoover players got a hand on the ball from Gross, and I don't think that is a travel, but Hoover's ball.
Hirschberger has it now, passes it off to Crew Kane. Looking for a screen from Newell. He'll go over to the right side. Wagner, Newell, 2 on the key now. Gives it to Kane to the right. Goes past Evan Bailey, goes inside, can't find it. Gross now with the ball for the Leopards, hands it over to Aljansic, gives it to Siegfried. Siegfried almost spots up, fakes out Hirschberger, dribbles back around. And now from offset the perimeter, it's Ashton Marshall. He can't fire away, rebounded by Hirschberger, and Newell took a fall after the attempted rebound. Hoover 29, Louisville 22, 6 minutes, 37 seconds to go here left in the third. Hirschberger's got it deep on the right. He'll dribble it over to his left, going backwards. Hirschberger at this point, when he knows that he's in a comfortable lead, he's going to try and play some hero ball. And that's exactly what he does as he goes up and can't find it in as he takes a fall on the way down. Marshall goes inside looking for an easy layup, gets the foul call instead, and he's headed to the stripe now, looking to put the Leopards back within 5.
Yeah, foul's going to go against Oster. Rob Oster with his second foul.
Marshall's first. Can't find it. Let's see if his free throw percentage really shows him who's boss on this one. 6 minutes, 16 seconds to go now. Hoover 29, Louisville 22. Marshall can't knock either of his free throw shots down, not able to split the pair, and now it's in the hands of Crew Kane. Kane on the left side, led by Newell in front. Has Wagner to his right. Instead, Oster now screens past. Goes behind the back. Kane thinks better of it. He's alone on the right side with Aljansic. Looking for a shot inside. He's got a lane, and he'll find it. Travel not called as the Louisville section wanted that badly. 5 minutes, 47 seconds to go. Deep three from Siegfried, and he can't find it. The deep three ball ends up going to Hoover after another foul is called, and Louisville finds themselves down the most since their tournament in California.
Yeah, the foul's going against Braden Gross. I think it was a late whistle against Gross. His second foul. Hoover with an excellent opportunity to get this lead into double digits.
And Louisville doing their best at this point to try and not let it go through their heads. But Kane's just ripping them apart as he steps through Gross, finds the lane past him, but hands it back to Hirschberger. Hirschberger driving through the paint, goes behind his back, guarded by Gross. This was the matchup I was telling you about earlier today. Kane on the left side has Oster in the corner, but he's going for a lane instead, blocked by Gross, and Gross with some much-needed confidence gained back from the rebound. Aljansic, open three, can't get it, way off on the right side, and Siegfried goes for the chase down to get the ball back in possession, but ball a little too fast with backspin off of the rim, and 4 minutes, 59 seconds to go. Hoover 31, Louisville 22. 9-point deficit now for the Leopards. Largest deficit they've seen since their trip to California in December. Kane rainbows over to Newell, who gives it to Oster. Now gives it to Hirschberger on the right side. Hirschberger tries to get past Bailey, but not a big enough body to do so. Staring down Bailey now on the right side. Goes to make some dribble moves happen, spins around, and puts one in. Tough layup. Can't find the and one, but gets the layup instead. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go now here in the third. Hoover's leading by 11 now. Hoover 33, Louisville 22. Bailey taking it inside, guarded by Kane. Ball is blocked out of his hands, but he'll get the shooting foul and head to the stripe now with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here left in the third.
Yeah, Crew Kane and Hunter Hirschberger, two players like we've seen this year. They can hit those threes, they can hit those outside shots, but if they have an opportunity to penetrate into the lane and score, they're not afraid to do so. We've seen them do that a number of times tonight, as Devin Bailey's first free throw is no good.
And shades similar to what you saw at Mount Union's game a couple of days ago when they missed 13 free throws, and that is really what killed him in the stretch. Bailey's second, can't find it as it swishes its way around, and Marshall looking for a potential tangle up, gets the jump ball call, headed Louisville's way instead. Smart play from Marshall. Siegfried on the inbound. He'll give it off to Gross as he dribbles it back around over to Jancic. Gives it over to Siegfried. Siegfried driving underneath. Tough layup and one. Way to the rim, Siegfried. 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go here left in the third. And Siegfried with a much-needed spark for this Louisville offense. Looking to make a run now halfway through the third. Hoover 33, Louisville 24, and Siegfried's got an opportunity at an and one. He'll notch it, and now it is a 8-point game after their largest lead of 11 for the Vikings. 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go here now. Newell's got to get it into somebody. Hands it off to Kane. He's doubled quickly. Full court press given to Hirschberger. He'll go back, and Louisville drops back into the half-court set, triangle and two. Kane goes to his right, hands it off to Hirschberger. Wants to put up a three, and almost fouled by Bailey. Takes the ball away in stride. Looking to have Wagner at the three-point line to give it back to Hirschberger. Slow play now taken by the Vikings as Hirschberger tries to make something happen, goes behind his back, and takes it back out. Hirschberger to Kane on the left side. He's guarded by Gross. 3 minutes, 36 seconds to go. Kane not doing anything with the basketball, but he'll dribble back, guarded by Gross. And Hoover just trying to burn as much clock as possible. Kane dribbles it right back to the volleyball stripe. And Kane still taking a long time. He's got a lane inside, fakes out Gross big time! And Gross got greedy, wanted the block, and that cost him. Marshall now on the right side. Goes underneath to find a shot inside, layup taken, foul called. Marshall will head to the stripe to make up for those two. Taken on the other end of the court by Kane, looking to make up for Gross's mistake. 3 minutes and 6 seconds now left in the third. It's a 10-point game. Marshall's got a chance to knock it back to a 1-point game. Or, excuse me, a 2-point game. I believe he's got two.
Yeah, his first free throw is good. After missing two in a row, his last trip to the line, he hits that free throw. That was the third foul on Rob Oster. And that's the fourth on the Vikings in this quarter. Well, let's see how battle-tested this Louisville team is. I mean,
Marshall
as he
plays
misses
for the
free
rebound
throw.
to Andrechik from three, fire away, and just like that, they're back within 6. Hoover 35, Louisville 29. 2 minutes and 54 seconds to go. Rainbow pass to Hirschberger, goes past Lloyd. Trip called. Hoover on the inbound, and now Hoover's got 4 fouls, and Louisville's got 3, so matched up evenly in the foul stretch here.
Well, I was going to say, let's see how much Louisville deals with adversity right here.
Hirschberger, tough layup over Andrechik. Andrechik's hand in his face, but Hirschberger still comes down with it. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Siegfried looking a little bit distressed as the ball's handed to Marshall from 3. Bang! Gets it! Back within 5. Cutting down to 6. Hoover 37, Louisville 32. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go here in the third. Louisville hoping to make a run. Triangle and 2 now taken as the ball off of, it looked like Jancic's hand off, tipped it way off. A surefire pass underneath for an easy 2. Jancic saved that. Now Collins gives it off to Hirschberger on the right side. Guarded by Siegfried closely. Playing touchy, he'll get off of him. And Kane's got it now, gassed, guarded by Aljancic, looking for a ghost screen. Instead, ghost screen fires away and can't find one. Kane looking to do it himself, fires it back out to Collins. And Kane looking to ISO. On the left side, he'll go through, guarded by Andrechik. And step, can't get it off the step. And now gonna take 2 foul shots instead of a chance for 3. Minute and 47 seconds to go here left in the third, and if Kane knocks these down, Louisville finds themselves in a familiar position.
Yeah, that's the 3rd foul on Avery Andrechik, 4th on the Leopards as a team. Drew Kane with 16 points for the Vikings tonight to lead all scorers, and he hits his first free throw. What I was trying to say earlier, let's see how Louisville deals with the adversity. They are battle-tested. We saw them win a tough game against a tough team like Richmond Heights on Friday, but there's been a few times this year where they've been down by like 10 points.
Yet they come back for it all. Timeout taken now by Hoover, a minute and 47 seconds to go here left in the third, and my jaw is on the floor.
Well, there was 2 big threes from Ashton Marshall in this quarter that when Louisville fell behind by double digits, kind of helped keep them within distance here. But credit to Hoover. I mean, they've been able to, battle back. Drew Kane, 18 points tonight already. We saw him have a huge game against Glen Oak last week. It was hard to believe that it was like Hoover went on a 17-1 to end that game. That's how dominant they were to beat the Golden Eagles. But now they're looking for a huge win here tonight.
Louisville playing fast on the 4-out set. At half court, Andrechik goes into Gross. Gross has his tiptoes in and fires away to Siegfried. Now, ball's going to go all over to Aljancic. Pump fakes the 3, goes back. Called for the, I couldn't tell you what he was called for, but it looks like it's good for Hoover.
Yeah, that foul's going to go against Louisville. And I believe that was on Tate Aljancic, but they haven't flashed it up there yet.
In transition, Kane's got one. He'll go, can't go in, gets the foul. He'll head to the stripe. And that is another call against the Leopards. And they'll find themselves giving Hoover the bonus now with a minute and 25 to go here in the third.
Yeah, I think the Leopards were wondering why the tail official was calling that one down there instead of the guy who was under the baseline. But Drew Kane goes to the free throw line again, hits his first. Kane with 19 points on the night, looking for 20, and he gets it.
Kane with 20 on the night, leading the Vikings in front of Hirschberger. Minute and 20 seconds to go now, bonus in Louisville's hands. Gross looking to go inside, another travel called, or excuse me, the foul is called on Wagner. This is a precarious situation. I've never seen more of a hands-on game than I've seen tonight.
That foul goes against Gage Wagner, his third. Braden Gross will go to the line for the Leopards. He gets his first.
Gross finally able to break 6, tied with Siegfried for the leading scorers on this Leopards team. Minute and 15 to go. Gross playing for the miss. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. Makes a second. With a minute and 15 seconds to go now, Ashton Marshall coming in for Andrechik. And Devin Bailey coming in for Aljancic. On the inbound, it's Collins. He'll hand it to Kane. Goes right back to Collins on Rainbow. Devin Bailey puffs up on him. Hands it back to Collins, hands it back to Kane. Now, offset from the left of the Leopard logo. Guarded by Bailey. Goes to his left. 2 dribbles. Takes it back. Goes over to his right, crossover on Bailey. Making something happen. He'll look to drive through on the right. Steps back. 51 seconds now left here in the third. Kane tells Hirschberger to go in. And if Lloyd can't transition onto his man, they're going to have an open guy. Kane, pressed up by Lloyd, a little bit of shoving there. Ball handed off to Hirschberger, gives it back to Kane. Now Kane from the volleyball stripe. They're taking up all the time left on this clock. Looking for the final shot to be made now with 26 seconds. Kane looking for an open lane, can't find it. And Kane's had the ball now for at least 30 seconds.
Louisville gets whistled for a foul. It's going to be against Colton Loy. Way away from the basket, but that puts the Leopards over the limit.
Kane at the stripe now. Looking like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with the amount of free throws he's gotten tonight. We'll get another.
Now Kane with 21 points on the night to lead all scorers. Looking to get both free throws and put his team up by 9 with 23.4 seconds left in the third.
Misses his second, and it's Louisville ball with 20 seconds to go. Will they play for the last shot, or will they play for a quick shot? Siegfried over to Andrzejczyk. Offset the key, gives it to Bailey. Bailey screens past Gross. Looking for a three, tries to go inside to Gross, but the ball's tipped out by Collins. It's going Louisville's way now after shave 10 seconds off the clock. The all-defensive lineup now coming in for Hoover as Danny Holohan comes in for his first minutes of the game. Joined by Roman Geiselman. Gross looking to take the last shot here. Goes underneath and in for an and one. Gross wanted it and he got it. Determined for the and one to put it back within 5. 5 seconds to go now here left in the third. Gross has the opportunity to put this back within 5. It's Hoover 42, Louisville 36, and probably what will be the Leopards' lowest scoring game of the season.
Well, that could have been a great possession for Hoover if they were able to get the stop. Now it could be a great possession for Louisville if Gross is able to complete the three-point play, and he does.
Gross with a huge free throw with 5 seconds to go. Geiselman on the inbound, hands it to Hirschberger. Hirschberger's going to take this shot himself. From the stripe, puts it up, and in! Buzzer beater to end the third. Hirschberger from way downtown. Louisville trailing by 8. It's Hoover 45, Louisville 37. And as we go into the fourth, Louisville is going to have to come from behind.
Well, when Hunter Hirschberger has hit buzzer beaters like that, that usually spells good things to happen for Hoover. He's done that a couple times to win games, especially during his freshman year, and he hits a shot at the end of the third quarter when Louisville appeared to regain the momentum on that Gross three-point play. Hunter Hirschberg comes back and hits a big three, and that gives Hoover a 45-37 lead heading into the final quarter. Louisville has played from behind all night tonight. They were up 2-0. And since then, Hoover has been able to maintain a lead and has been able to answer every Louisville run since then. Now, Hoover, one of the better teams in the area, especially in Division II, who has high hopes of making a deep postseason run. What a confidence boost this could be if they are able to come in here and pull out this victory.
With 8 minutes left to go, a full 32 minutes is on the horizon for the Louisville Leopards and the Hoover Vikings. Now in the fourth, Louisville looks for a tip-off after Siegfried and telling his men to get back down as Hoover recovers. They've got Newell inside, goes outside to Newell, fires from 3! And it keeps wrenching for the Leopards. 7 minutes, 37 seconds to go. Hoover cannot miss. 48-37 now, the Vikings lead. Marshall has it guarded by Kane. Gross now on the left side. Takes the go screen, goes inside, puts one in. and the foul is called. Gross will have 2 shots at the line. 7 minutes, 23 seconds to go now, Mike, and I'm clenching my teeth as I talk.
Well, that was another big 3 from Connor Newell for Hoover. He's had 2 of those tonight, like we talked about when we saw them last week against Glen Oak. Had a big rebound and basket during that game-ending run. Thought it was probably the biggest basket of the game that night for Hoover that helped him rally to win that game. Braden Gross at the line for Louisville, hits his first free throw and misses his second.
Definitely played for the miss there, Mike. Hirschberger now with the logo. Hands it to Collins, who gives it to Kane deep on the left. The 3-2 with the zone lands in the hands of the fans. That was a tongue twister.
There's been a few seats over. It could have landed in your hands of your friends Sam Berkman and Lee Foster.
Oh, yeah, courtside's here, and they're actually courtside. Kane from the right side. He fakes out 2 men, goes over to Oster on the wing. Oster, notorious for his shooting, but goes over to Newell. Fakes out Siegfried, but notches it out. Hirschberger with a tough board, regains it. And Hirschberger inside, a huge rebound for the Vikings. Kane fakes out Gross, who plays for the foul, and backs it up. Kane, maestroing the offense, goes back to Hirschberger on the right side. Hits it back to Kane now. They'll reset. Kane double teamed. He needs to go somewhere, but timeout now taken by Hoover to save the inevitable. 6 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Hoover leading the Leopards by 10. Hoover 48, Louisville 30.
Well, if you're Hoover, there's no rush here. You've got the lead. You've got a double-digit lead. You've got the ball. What you need, good possessions. Don't turn the ball over. Don't have to rush a shot. Connor Newell with an open 3 at the corner there. Hey, why not? He's hit his first 2 threes tonight. But Hoover able to get the offensive rebound and regain possession. They're in a good spot right here.
I mean, as I said before tip-off, I mean, this game's going to come down to whether or not Gross and Siegfried can get into rhythm. And Gross, the only one out of the 2 that's broken double digits, and he's only got 11. Oster now passes it over to Newell on the side. It's Hirschberger. He'll cut under, closed in on, and a tough layup, can't find it. Rebounded by Collins. He'll go up and in. They lead by 12. Now with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the 4th. The student section is silent as Siegfried passes it back to himself from Marshall. Bailey on the left perimeter. Hands it off to Aljancic from 3. Can't notch it. Ends up in Gross's hands. He's got a man inside, but he'll draw the foul instead after 2 minutes shaved off here in the 4th. Hoover 50, Louisville 38. And Hoover already with 2 fouls.
Well, Braden Gross going back to the free-throw line. He split his 2 free throws last time he was there, and he hits his first free throw here for his 12th point on the night. He and Mashton Marshall, only the Leopards, the only Leopards in double figures, as Gross hits his second free throw.
Timeout now taken on the floor. It's still a 10-point game after the free throws. And Louisville's got 6 minutes to make 10. And that's barring a couple of Hoover buckets along the way.
Well, this Louisville team, I mean, we said it earlier. We said it when we were here last week. They're facing a gauntlet at the end of the season. I mean, they're going to be prepared for when the postseason starts. Richmond Heights last week. Hoover tonight, a team that has big aspirations in Division II. Oh, look who's coming here on Saturday. St. Vincent St. Mary.
We'll be here.
And we'll be here for that. And who's coming here next week? Cleveland St. Ignatius, the defending Division I state champions.
The gauntlet only gets harder for Louisville, and they're not getting it done tonight against the third-place Federal League team. But they were able to get it together against Richmond Heights. 3 state championships in recent memory. 5 minutes, 56 seconds to go. They're pressing up. Crew almost beats them. Hands it over to Newell. Hirschberger's got a lane. Blocked by Gross. Foul called. Gross thought he had it clean. And Louisville doesn't like the call.
Wow. They whistled that foul on Braden Gross. It looked from here. That was a block. And Hunter Hirschberg goes to the free throw line and makes his first one. Boy, we saw Braden Gross on the wrong end of a couple whistles in the Richmond Heights game. That looked like a clean block from up here. But Hirschberger makes 2 free throws, and the Vikings are up by 12.
Louisville playing fast as Gross goes inside. Another call as it's on Collins. Gross will head to the stripe now to put it back within 10. And this is going to be the game that Siegfried's going to play.
Yeah, I was going to say, this might be what you see the rest of the game. Braden Gross trying to dominate inside and lead his team back. He hits his first free throw. He has 14 points on the night, and he hits his second to get his team within 10.
Collins looking for the inbound on the right side. Hands it over left to Kane. Kane spins around, guarded by Siegfried. He's got to get it down somewhere. Guarded both by Siegfried and Bailey. But now Hirschberger, it's 2-on-1. Go underneath. Oster's in, can't find it, and another foul is called on the Leopards. They can't get a call.
Now that foul's going to go against Ashton Marshall. And Rob Oster going to the free throw line for the Vikings. He hits his first one. Oster with 6 points on the night, trying to restore a 12-point lead for Hoover with 5:30 to go, and he does.
Oster notches the second, like you just said, and now Louisville down 12, have 5 minutes, 30 seconds to get it done. Over to Siegfried on the left side. Right now you'd expect a bit of a Siegfried heat check, but it goes over to Marshall instead, the fifth option on the floor. He gets it to Siegfried now at the key, passes up the 3, gives it back to Marshall on the right side. Gross now offset the key. He's got Bailey on the outside, but he goes in, can't find the call for the N1, and Louisville has got to get down to the other side of the court. Pressing up on Kane. Kane's going to take the lane, guarded by Gross, but he finds the layup and finds the lane. 4 minutes, 53 seconds to go. Siegfried can't find the pass over to Alchancic. And it's a Hoover ball. Bailey coming out for the Leopards. And Louisville staring at what could be their 5th loss of the season. Ball given to Hunter Hirschberger, who holds it. Kane's got it now. Leopards playing deep press. Now as Kane gets it back. Ball going in a triangle now as Newell fires a bounce pass back to Kane. Kane dribbling it out to Hirschberger. He wants to take the 3, but against Bluey's better judgment, it's probably good if he didn't there. And he doesn't. So now Kane has it again. Looking for a jump ball. And it's going to Hoover.
Yeah, they're going to give Hoover the timeout there. Tom Siegfried out asking about that call. We saw Tom Siegfried lose the jacket on Friday against Richmond Heights.
I can't hear you over the booze, dude.
And we've seen you lose the hoodie.
That's unimportant. It's not as monumental as Siegfried taking his coat off.
I could lose this, but I have a Malvern t-shirt on.
And
complimentary of the great people from Malvern.
The Louisville fans just think that this is being handed to Hoover on a silver platter. And Mike, I don't know if that's true. Hoover's played a really great game, and the Leopards are only down now 12. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Louisville's got to make a miracle happen.
Hoover has earned everything they have received here tonight.
Hirschberger's inside. Marshall goes up, can't find it, and Hirschberger's got an easy lay. And they're down 14 now with 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Louisville now has it over to Marshall off the pass from Siegfried. Given to Aljancic, contested three. Air ball, and Aljancic wanted that. Not sure if that's the right shot to take there, Mike. And Kane goes inside Oster, who finds the easy layup. And it's falling apart as Louisville now finds themselves down 16 with 3 minutes, 49 seconds to go. Siegfried faked over to Aljancic, gets over to Marshall. Marshall on the left side, bounce pass to Gross. He'll go inside for a reverse layup, and he'll find it. Can't draw the foul, but will draw the layup. Ball inbounded to Kane. 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Gross has 19. Hirschberger taking it down the court, gives it off to Oster. Gives it back to Kane now. He'll dribble back around. Guarded by Gross. He's got a lane inside by Siegfried. He'll go inside to Oster. Ball unsuccessful as it's given to Aljancic. And now the Louisville Leopards are slowing it down. Aljancic wants to spot it up again, playing some hero ball. Won't make it happen. They've got Siegfried in the corner, so just watch. Siegfried screens pass, and Gross keeps it. Can't draw the foul charge, instead goes up, and there might have been a little bit of touch in there, but that gets washed, and now Louisville back down within 12. Looking for the foul. Kane's dribbling it around with 2 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Newell over to Hirschberger. From the corner, back to Kane. On the right perimeter, it's given to Hirschberger. Back to Kane, monotonous basketball. Another foul called on the reach-in. And Louisville now with 3 fouls, even with Hoover's. Foul is on Andrechik. 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go. Hoover leading by 12, 60-48, up on Louisville.
If you're Hoover, stay patient. That's all you need to do. You've got enough points to win this game.
And enough time. Newell fires over to Hirschberger now from the volleyball stripe. Rainbow over to Oster, who goes inside to Kane. Great ball movement, goes inside to Newell. And the defense is falling apart as Gross comes out. Taking it down the court now is Siegfried. Taking it on the right side, or on the left side, excuse me, gives it off to Bailey. Bailey going inside. You'd be the last person to expect to score. Can't find it. Goes over to Oster, and Bailey kicks out to Siegfried. Contested three, finds it. And now it is an 11-point game with 2 minutes. Louisville's got to make everything happen in 1 minute and 54 seconds. Can they make the miracle happen? Oh, Wagner's on the other side, and he'll grab the lay. Marshall wasn't even close. Siegfried now dribbling into the other side. Siegfried would be best off with a heat check now. He'll go to the corner to Aljancic, gives it back. Minute and 37 seconds to go. Goes inside of Aljancic, big body. In on the outside, it's Siegfried. And they'll grab the points. But 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go. Looks like Hoover will be inbounding it. Now it's going to be Newell on the inbound. Minute and 30 seconds to go. 64-54. Leopards. Couple of threes and a prayer. Newell hits Kane now. Trapped by Loy. He'll get down the court. Dribbling it down. Kicks it back out to Newell. Gets it right back. Back over to Oster. He's inside. Marshall goes up and can't find the block. And that's another easy lay for Oster, who breaks double digits on the night with that shot. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Louisville, 66. Going inside. Push called. It looks like Siegfried will head to the stripe now.
Louisville been able to put pressure on Hoover. Past couple of trips down the court, some full court pressure, but Hoover able to get behind the defense for a couple of open layups.
It looks like there aren't going to be foul shots taken now. But it's going to be Siegfried on the inbound. His coach trusts him. Minute and 6 seconds to go. 12-point lead for the Vikings. Siegfried gives it to Gross. Gross looking for a man. Gets pushed back by Newell. Gives it to Andrechik. Goes to Marshall. Spots up from the three-point line. And can't find it as it's just short of the rim. Kane up front. He'll go down. physical basketball.
That's going to be a foul on Louisville.
Hirschberger knows he's in their heads. Newell on the inbound, gives it to Kane. He'll spin around, takes it back around, town, tries to go in between Siegfried. Physical basketball now played. Ball's blocked out of Loy's hand. It's going Louisville's way, and Siegfried's going to be on the inbound.
Well, actually, Louisville's going to get some free throws here because that foul on Hunter Hirschberger is going to put the Vikings over the limit. Still a huge uphill climb for Louisville. Down 12 with 41.3 seconds left. It's Colton Loy at the free throw line, and his first free throw is good.
They need 10 or 11 if he makes the shot. Let's see if Loy can grab it. Floats it up and finds it. Louisville needs 10 and 41 seconds. Taking it down the court. Kane's got it in stride. Dribbles it back around, almost lost by Marshall. Triple teamed over to Hirschberger. He's got a lane, gives it over to Newell. Slowing it down now, Kane's got it at the logo. 30 seconds to go. Looks like Hoover's got possession in it. Gives it over to Hirschberger, back to Collins, back to Newell. 20 seconds to go. Foul now taken by Alchancic, aggressive with the shove. They'll head to the stripe now, hoping that Newell can't make these two.
Well, that's it. This is going to be Hoover's game here. Newell to the free throw line. Just 21.3 seconds left. First free throw, no good.
Newell can't make his first. Kane telling his team that it's fine. Newell, deep breath before his arc. Can't make it. Now Louisville, 20 seconds down. They're just going to have to put up a prayer. Gross now on the outside, over to Andrzejczyk. He'll put up a three. Foul not called as the ball's not good. Give it to Marshall. From the three-point stripe, over to Lloyd. Back to Gross. He'll step back, put one up. Can't find it as it's airballed. Marshall loses it off of the inbound with 4.6 seconds to go. It looks like Hoover is going to run away with it. Oh, my goodness.
Well, what did we talk about early in the game? Mike Popovich said, hey, these close games, we haven't won. Tonight they get their biggest victory of the season.
And with that, Hoover Vikings 66 to Louisville 56. And that'll do it as Louisville falls to 12-5, or excuse me, they'll fall to 13-5 on the season. Hoover rises to 13-6 as they get ready to go back into Federal League play now.
What a job by Hoover. They trailed just one time tonight, 2-0.
Kane.
The Vikings went up and grabbed the lead, and they never lost it the rest of the night.
No, they did not. Hirschberger with 32 points. Or 19 points, not 32. That's his number, excuse me. And that's going to do it here from Louisville High School. Make sure to check out the Letter Network's Twitter account on your way out. You can find that linked down below for our post-game interviews with the Hoover Vikings. With that being said, Mike, that'll be it from the Letter Live here tonight, presented to you by Letter Network. It's been Aiden Brueck, your play-by-play. Mike Popovich, your color commentary.